First and foremost, again, if you remember, we're living in our body, right? So this is your vessel. And I'm just going to tell you, as you step out of these doors and you go on this transformation journey, and as you continue with what you're already doing, I want to invite you to be able to say to yourself, my body is going to take the lead. So often we're used to letting our mind run things, right? That monkey on top of the elephant thinks that it's in control. But in reality, your elephant, your body, your internal soul self, your intuition, all of those things are what's actually running your system. And all of those things and all of those energies are what we talk about as being in the flow, and are what we talk about being in connection with some sort of spirit, or being able to feel the energies of the universe. Those run through your body. So when you can, this is the very first thing that you're going to do, find the power in the pause. When you are in action, when you are doing something, when you feel your mind begin to take over, the very first thing you're going to do is find power in the pause. And that's going to be your moment of stepping out of a room, of just being able to take 3 breaths at your desk before you answer the next phone call. Whatever the power in the pause looks like for you, so that you can tune back into your vessel and get the direction that you need to know. Because all of the knowledge that you actually need in life is already inside of you. Our job is to tune in and listen to it. We think we're in control, but in reality, when you can find that power, when you can listen to that pause and then choose to follow it and act on it, then you're going to be able to really find that flow state. Then you're really going to be able to find the energy to continue to sustain this transformation that you're looking to make in life. So, first things first, your body is your vessel, and that's the thing you're going to be listening to when you're walking through these steps. Okay? The other thing I want to say about this is listening to your body is a practice. Now, you're going to come across several people in life that are going to be at different stages. 5 years ago, 6 years, 7 years ago, I was at the stage where my body and I had no connection. There was no conversation. And the reason that was there was because there were so many layers between my internal intuition, my internal vessel, and what I perceived as being true in my life. I had had a lot of programmed beliefs. I had had a lot of people tell me what meant in life. And it took me a long time to strip those layers back to finally get to the core where my internal self and my external self could have that conversation. So this practice of a power and a pause, this practice of tuning into your body is a practice. There's going to be some days where you go straight back to letting whoever's in control in your mind run things. And then there's going to be days where all of a sudden your body just hits a hard freaking stop. And your job is to be able to listen. And when you listen to that, that's when you're starting to be able to tap back in. And as you practice this and as you develop this, you're going to notice the amount of days start to change, right? The number of days where you're like, man, I really didn't tune in at all, starts to go down. And as you continue to practice, the number of days when you're like, man, I'm really listening, I'm really in my power, I'm really having energy. Well, that's because you're not necessarily having to lead anymore. You're following this thing that is breathing life into everything you're doing. So the second thing, and this is the one that we like to have the most resistance to, is what I like to call restful rest. Restful rest. And let me tell you the definition of restful rest. And if this resonates, I'm going to have you drop a 1 in the chat. Has anyone ever taken a vacation and come back from that vacation more tired than when they left? Has anyone, okay, next one. Has anyone ever set out to do some self-care, whether it be a massage, a manicure, get some recharge time, and you come back from that thing that is supposed to be recharging you and you actually don't feel recharged at all? Have any of you ever felt like you needed a nap, and as you laid down to take that nap, you couldn't fall asleep because you were so mad at yourself for needing a nap? Okay, one more. Have any of you ever told yourself, I'm going to be productive today? You find yourself scrolling, avoiding, procrastinating all day. And then at the end of the day, you're so pissed at yourself for not getting any of the things done that you wanted to. Okay. I'm glad to know that this stuff is resonating with you, and I'm glad that you all can sit here and laugh about it, because the nice thing to know is you're not alone. You're sitting in a room full of people that also have a hard time giving themselves permission to rest. So now that you've made yourself your first priority, now that you know that you're doing these things out of loving attention to this vessel that's going to allow you to go on this journey, the next thing you can say to yourself is, I'm already worthy of this rest. I don't have to give myself permission to take this nap. The reason you set out to be productive in the beginning of the day, and then halfway through the day, you're so busy, you're so distracted, or you're so overwhelmed that you can't even touch the things you actually want to, is probably because your body's telling you you need to rest. You need to go recharge yourself in whatever way you need to, so that you no longer have resistance towards the things that you're setting out and telling yourself you want to do.